Joe Biden pledges to defend Taiwan military if China invades. I'll tell you a bit of background on this. You don't need to scroll down.
Okay.
You can scroll down a bit. So Joe Biden's in Asia, in Japan at the moment. He's on his Asia tour. It's his first time meeting the Japanese president.
Oh yeah.
But he's also meeting with the Indian and Australian leaders. He's there because there's this thing called the Quad. So it involves those four countries, and they are putting together a plan or a strategy to push back against Chinese influence in and around that area. So America is still trying to have their foothold within Asia.
But they're going for outside of China.
Yeah, so they basically know they're seeing China as a threat now, which I think they've always seen China as a threat, but they're seeing them as a bigger threat. So Biden's gone over to sort of stamp down his authority a little bit. And him saying this at that event shows that, well, to me anyway, it shows me that US are looking to actually show China that they're not all happy families, and if China do push the boundaries, then there will be consequences. I'm not sure how much these words that Joe Biden's saying will actually come true after what happened in Ukraine, but maybe Taiwan's a bit more of an important territory than Ukraine.
Yeah. But then equally, it's the fact that China will be doing that move, as opposed, I know it's a bit sad to say, but as opposed to Russia making the move on Ukraine, there's a lot more that can happen from China making the move on Taiwan. There's a lot more repercussions to that.
Yeah, because if US show the backing down from China, then it shows weakness on the US's side, and that means weakness in Japan, weakness in Korea, weakness in basically majority of Asia, down to Australia. Because without US's backing, those countries could not handle China.
Yeah.
One thing as well, as I sent you that article, I don't know what time. I found that article this morning. Well, I was reading about it this morning.
Yeah.
And then when I checked again later, the plot thickened a little bit. So
I think I've heard this because I heard about it today, but I think I know what you're going to say.
Whilst this was going on, China and Russia flew nuclear-capable bombers near Japan's airspace. And they said it was an annual test that they do.
They both did it at the same time?
Yeah, they both did it together.
Oh, right. How romantic.
China's basically shown who their allies are in Russia after months of saying that they're not going to. They're sort of taking a step back from Russia. They've gone and done this when the US president's there talking about a plan to reduce.
It's literally like they're like poking at US there.
Well, they're both poking at each other, really, aren't they? Like US, Biden's come to them.
Yeah.
Asia to talk with Asian countries about
protection, basically
protecting China, like stopping China's influence in Asia. Whereas at the same time, Russia and China have flown jets near nuclear-capable jets near Japan's airspace.
These warplanes.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's them. I'm not sure if that's the actual image of it. I think that just might be a standard image.
Oh, right.
I'm not sure though. I don't really.
It says here, failed Russian jet fighters, central Moscow. Yeah, it's just a. Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're both just playing games with each other.
Yeah, to see who's going to crack. Not even who's going to crack. It's more China and Russia being mischievous in a way.
Yeah, provocative.
Yeah, just to see what. Well, they're just provoking
Yeah.
Biden.
But I was reading something, and for so many years, I can't remember how many years, but China have been flying jets into Taiwan's aerospace and then flying them back out, and they do it like several times a day. And Taiwan now are just used to it, like they're just like,
Yeah.
China's just, because they won't do anything because they can't. Because if they do, then it's all at war.
Yeah.
But then it got me thinking, what if one day Taiwan just think, oh, it's just Chinese jets, and then they drop a bomb?
Yeah. And that instigates the war, but no one's prepared because they're so used to it.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's very clever from China's side.
Well, yeah, we've been doing some research around the point. I mean, Mao wanted Taiwan to begin with, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, that's China's main goal, to reunify China.
Yeah.
To make it what it once was, because they were a massive superpower.
But the problem with where Taiwan is it's impossible for any other country to defend that attack.
Yeah, because it is basically China, like it's right next to China.
Yeah, have they not thingied it? Have China not surrounded it with their ships?
I'm not sure.
I don't know where I heard that information from.
I know China class it as China still.
Yeah. Yeah, Chinese warships detected near Taiwan. This is from March, though.
So another thing I was thinking, do you think the US haven't got involved with Ukraine because if they do, then China will see that as a weak, like that's their chance to go on Taiwan?
Well, there's the theory that it was China's idea. Now, this is a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy that it was China's idea for Russia to invade Ukraine so China could see the response from the rest of the world. Oh, the West even. Or US. To see what they need to prepare for when they go and take Taiwan. So this is sort of a guinea pig method.
Yeah. Or it was like it's to lure the US, distract the US whilst they go and do it.
It could even be a bit of both.
Yeah. But because no one's got involved with Ukraine, and everyone's still sort of ready for Taiwan.
Yeah, it's still the same. But there's now more attention, I feel like, well, as of late, more attention's been going towards Taiwan now.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen because it's fucked if it does. It's going to send us back like 50 years or something, I think.
Really?
Do you not think?
50 years back? What, if they go to invade Taiwan?
Yeah, if US go all at war with China.
Because then other countries in the surrounding area, I think Australia said they'll back it, didn't they?
Yeah, I think every NATO country has to back it because the US is involved and they're a NATO country.
Yeah. The US. But
it's either gonna end in nuclear war or it's just gonna fuck everything up because supply chains will be fucked. Like you've just seen the war in Ukraine, like that's fucking supply chains up already.
And that's even just a small amount of supply that's been fucked up. But it's had such a rapid effect on everything.
Whereas in China, if something happens there, then that's pretty much the whole supply chain gone. Something's going on in Ukraine and then China as well.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
But I don't know.
But do you know when Biden said he would go and back Taiwan? It's come out and said that he was wrong for saying that. Someone in his team or something said he misrepresented what he wanted to say, but he said the word yes. The word yes.
All right, so he didn't actually say we will defend Taiwan. Was he just asked a question?
Oh, shall I get the video?
Yeah, I've not seen the video.
Oh, right. Let me play this. Hopefully it's the right one. I've not seen.
So I think sometimes these articles are misleading because they won't say he was asked a question. They'll just say he said.
You need to see the actual video, don't you? Oh, fuck, it's 2 minutes 38.
China tensions elevated today following remarks by President Biden that he would be willing to defend Taiwan militarily should China decide to invade.
Oh yeah, here anyway, he just says the word yes. We'll find it.
Taiwan, that
idea that by force,
militarily.
the idea that it can be taken by force, just taken by force, is just not appropriate. It will dislocate the entire region and be another action similar to what happened in Ukraine. So it's a burden that is even stronger.
The White House later tried to walk back those comments, clarifying that the U.S.'s one China policy has not changed and that President Biden was simply reiterating the U.S. commitment to provide Taiwan with the military means to defend itself. U.S. officials said the U.S. would intensify economic negotiations with Taiwan in the coming days after it was absent from a 13-member economic bloc the U.S. assembled to negotiate new standards for environmental, tax, trade, and supply chain issues. The IPEF, or Indo-Pacific Economic Framework as it's called, was formed to counter China, but it still could be years before it has an impact.
They're really only at
Right. I think a 10 off.
Yeah, so basically, when asked, here it says, when asked at a joint news conference with Japanese Prime Minister whether the US will be prepared to defend Taiwan if attacked, Biden replies, yes, that's a commitment we made. We agree with the one China policy, and then just what you've heard then.
What? Doesn't make sense.
He doesn't make sense a lot of the time. What's the one China policy?
I think the one China policy is to get Taiwan back part of China.
Yeah, and the US recognises that as formal ties with China rather than the island of Taiwan, which China sees as a breakaway from it. The one China policy is a key cornerstone of the Sino-US relations, the fundamental bedrock of China. However, whereby China insists Taiwan is an inalienable part of the... Yeah, so he's agreeing that it's part of China then.
Sounds like he's contradicting himself.
He seems to do that a bit, this guy.
Do you think Trump will get back in power?
Things seemed a lot more calm when he was in power, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's a different time now. But I feel like
with him
in power, he was... I feel like Biden's getting bullied a little bit.
Yeah. Because he's definitely not the one making the decisions there. You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell that he's a puppet. Rather than Trump, you can tell he wasn't.
Yeah. And even though like Trump said some outrageous shit, I think some of the shit he said as well made sense.
Yeah.
Because since 2016, he's been speaking about Europe not being as reliant on Russian oil and gas, and basically advocating for Europe to sort of back off on it. And now look at the sort of mess we're in.
Yeah. When is he able to go back up for? He's able to get re-elected next year. No, I mean next election.
Yeah, so 2024.
Because I don't reckon this guy will do another stint, will he?
No. I think he's struggling with this one.
Yeah, you see the video? You see the video of him falling down the stairs to the aeroplane?
The thing is, he's not that much older than Trump, but Trump just seems he's sharper.
He's drugged up though, isn't he?
Who, Trump? Or
Yeah.
Biden? We're both. I think Biden's drugged up to keep him awake.
I'm alive. He's 79.
Who Biden is?
Biden 79, Trump 75. But it's... I don't know where. I think it's on... Joe Rogan talks about it a lot. These people are too old, man, to be in charge. They need younger people in.
Yeah, need people in like 40s, 50s with life experience, but then still young enough.
Life experience, but young enough to care about what they're doing for the future.
Yeah. How old's Putin, did we say? 69?
Yeah.
How old? President Xi?
69. Who?
President Xi, Chinese president.
68.
Yeah, so they're all like old people, man.
Boris Johnson, 57.
He's the youngest out of the lot. Like the age of Biden, Putin, and Xi is like when people are retired.
When they're not capable to work anymore.
Yeah.
And these guys are running some powerful fucking countries with nuclear bombs.
Weird, man.
Japan have nuclear bombs as well, don't they?
I'm not sure. I think so.
Nuclear weapons. There was a chart I saw a while ago. Oh, here. Look at this here. So here's a look at the 9 nations which currently have nuclear warheads in their arsenal. Look at the numbers here. I don't know how much we can believe the numbers on it, but...
Yeah. I don't know how much we can believe this as well, because I was listening to a video of Israel's, I think it's his the ex like deputy minister of defense, or I don't know what his actual title was, and he was asked if Israel have nuclear weapons that aren't registered or something along them lines.
Right.
And then he basically started like kicking off, saying, "What does it matter what Israel, what weapons Israel's, like nuclear weapons Israel has, and all this stuff."
All
Like,
right.
he didn't say yes, he didn't say no, but he was just kicking off with the guy.
You will never... I don't think anyone will ever know.
Yeah. And then there's talk of Iran having illegal nuclear weapons.
Iran.
Yeah.
India have 160. If this is true, though, Russia have 4,477.
How many do the US have?
Off this chart, it's 3,708.
All right.
And then France have the next most. No, they don't. China, then France.
China, yeah. You'd think US would have the most, the amount of money they spend on military.
Well, that's the thing they might do, but they just don't want it on the internet like that. Like,
Do you think the US military has some crazy shit that we've never seen?
yeah, I was thinking this the other day. There's some technology there, which I'm saving for a rainy day.
Yeah.
That's probably not even like ready. It's not undergone all the testing yet, but they'll use it if they need to. And they must, even at this point now, because they've just starting to figure out what China's doing, like how they're becoming the superpower, they must be like pumping money into R&D in the military,
Yeah.
like big time.
And I think, well, I was talking to so I was on that cybersecurity course. I was talking to the trainer, and he's into like all of his military gadgets and jets and stuff.
Yeah.
Saying what China do is they will send their students to uni in America. They get them to work in America, and then get them to work in, or they'll even approach Chinese American citizens, so people that are born in America but their parents from China, and then they get them to work in like government facilities and do all this stuff, and then they pay them off as spies, and then they send all the intel back to China, and China recreate these weapons that America have got.
Yeah. Because I was reading about the fact that they if you look at the amount of money they spent on R&D, they spent next to nothing on R&D. They just nick all of the US's ideas and then recreate the same technology, the same software and shit with their own resources.
Yeah.
So they don't actually think of anything new and just repurpose stuff that US has spent shitloads of money on researching.
I was reading that there's this, what are they called? Those missiles that shoot planes out the sky. What are they called? What did he call them? Air defense missiles.
Yeah, something like
I think
that.
that's what they are. One of them shot a Russia's most advanced jet out of the sky, and Russia and China both developed these jets together, and they use the same technologies. And they're saying that now US have that technology, they understand how they're communicating with each other, how the radars work. So then, if anything does happen, they can develop some technology to jam their radars.
Oh, right. All right, that's mental. Yeah, they're called SAM systems, surface-to-air missiles.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy, then.
Been around since the Soviets deployed the first generation of them in 1979.
Right, the Soviets invented them.
Did he make some cool, some mental shit? The Soviets.